Yeah. So again, this is a wonderful way to start manipulating. And there's definitely a lot of great, wonderful key commands. All the key commands for working in the arrangement, when it comes to duplicating, cutting time, pasting time, things like that, all live in this area. Now, again, because this is only a 1 hour segment, I'm not going to dive into all that stuff. If you were to sign up and take a class with us, of course, our classes range from 3 hours to 6 hour lessons with, of course, breaks in between. But we get into all of those finer details when it comes to um, just tips and tricks when it comes to working in the arrangement, right? So that's one way. Okay, that's one way. And just one more thing I want to point out to you though before we move on to the next segment is when I play these. Okay, let me go ahead and just hit play. You're listening to the arrangement view. All right. Let me hit tab. This is the session view. Now, it might seem like we're listening to these clips in the session view. This is where people get confused, but we're not. We're listening to these clips. I know, weird, right? What would happen if I tried playing one of these clips while the arrangement view is playing? Watch. Something weird's happening. Because I played this clip, these two clips continue to play, but look at my arrangement one now. It's been grayed out. So technically this one's not playing anymore. It's this clip. Okay, so again, I know some of you might be like, wait, why? Why does this exist? Again, because over time, let me just give you a scenario. Over time, you might find yourself manipulating a lot of different clips and you want to preview things against each other. Okay? We call it A being. A/B meaning what would it sound like with the effect on? What would it sound like without the effect on? What would it sound like with this clip modulated and that clip not modulated? So you can mix and match. Like it's almost like puzzle pieces, or you're painting on a canvas. Like which colors actually work together, which colors don't. And if you're just starting out for the first time, especially when it comes to sound, like what sounds complement each other, what sounds don't. Okay. And I just want to point something else out is that when you're working with clips like this, the fun thing is that you can create copies of them in the session view and further manipulate them. So let me give you an example. If I literally wanted more than one copy of these drums, okay, all you have to do is hold down the Option key or the Alt key for those of you who are on Windows and click and drag down, and you can create as I think as many copies as you want. I've never actually reached a limit, but let's just say for now as many as your computer can handle, or again depending on which working version of Ableton you're using. I know there are some limitations depending on which version you're using, but let's just say it's a lot for now. Okay, so here's a lot of the same exact clips. Now, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to create copies of the same clip? Okay, let me show you. So I'm going to work back in the session view, all right? And this time I'm actually going to go ahead and delete these. Okay, I can highlight all of these like this, and I can hit delete and start over again. You might be like, wait, why are you starting over? Well, here's something else I want to point out is that there are, again, different ways to record into the arrangement view. And I'm not there yet, but I will talk about this in a moment. So let's say I create a copy of this, okay? What could I possibly do to this clip to make it sound different than this clip? That's where you want to turn your attention to this zone, this area, okay? The clip editor area. If you're not seeing this when you load a clip in, okay, something you need to understand, something I need to point out here is that you got to make sure you're actually highlighted on the clip itself. If you're highlighted on the track, you're not going to see the clip. It will say drop audio effects down here. And if this is collapsed, maybe you actually accidentally collapse this area here. You need to, this is the detailed view area, but if you look in the bottom right hand corner here of my screen, you have this toggle arrow here. Maybe you accidentally hit the key command for this. So if you're not seeing this area here, it's because yeah, you could have accidentally collapsed it. So again, if I want to actually see the clip editor, if I actually want to display that to further manipulate the audio, I need to double click on the clip itself. And yes, these are two different clips, okay? And just to kind of show you the difference here so you don't get these two confused, or I don't get confused by them, this is why you might want to rename things, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and rename this clip and just call it my test clip. And I'm going to give it a different color so you can tell the difference, okay? So yes, this is the green one here for the original drums clip, and then this test one is now labeled test, and it's purple. So here's the fun thing. Inside here, okay, this is where you can further manipulate the audio. And we can do things like transpose. So maybe I want to pitch these drums up or down. I can manually do that by maybe going down 12 semitones. Let me go ahead and hit play. Okay, now let's hit play on this one. So this is what I meant earlier. So when you're recording different pieces together, you can A/B them and see which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and then get rid of the ones you don't like, and then further explore the ones you do like. So here's another example. I can also do this with the synth, or the little horn sample here. Again, hold the Option key, Alt key, and drag down and copy. This one, I'll rename. I'll just call it horn 2. Give it a different color. Okay. And let me give you another example. What could I do with this one? I could change its BPM value by either having it, literally making it half the speed, or I can double the original tempo. Okay. Let me give you an example of that. I'm going to half it. So now it's reading at 36.5 beats per minute. And then when I go and hit play, let me just go ahead and stop the drums here. So this is the original. And now here's the manipulated audio. Let's play it with my other horns, or my drums. Let's play the original. So the cool thing is, guys, is that maybe, and let's do one more. Let's do the Roomba shaker. Okay. The Roomba shaker. This one, I could actually maybe just loop a region and make it even shorter than what it was before. Because loop's already activated, what I could do is change the length by clicking right here and bringing the length down. Okay. Maybe I could find a different spot for it. This. And then actually decrease it even more. Like that, by clicking and dragging. This is called the loop brace, and this flag right here is the start brace, or the starting point. Okay, so here's my first scene. Here's my first idea. Now the second idea. Back to the verse. So again, this is a great way where you can start manipulating audio and further exploring it. Now, let me just, full disclosure here. There's a lot more you can do. Trust me, okay? There's a lot more you can do in this area. And again, I'm not going to go into a huge deep dive into this today. We're going to talk about MIDI and manipulating audio further. And again, check out one of our courses, especially in Ableton. We talk about this stuff. But let me just give you a fun example, something you can explore right now if you want to get going. Is inside here, we have what's called the envelope section, and we can actually further explore what's called in the clip region with the transposition. So for fun, if I actually wanted to manipulate or maybe transpose the horns in real time, I could do something like this. Okay, so again, I'm just manipulating the audio that I already had. And you can go in any direction you want. Well, you can either go up or down, but all the way up to 48 semitones, or all the way down negative 48 semitones. So I can create multiple copies of this. I can do as much as I want. Hey, let's even get weird, maybe for fun. We'll just do some weird kind of vibrato-y, that's not a word, but vibrato kind of stylized version of and if you don't know what vibrato is, it's just changing the pitch at a really fast rate. But in this case, I'm doing it manually by what we call automating the clip's transposition in the clip editor. Yeah, so again, you can have fun with this. Things can really start to get interesting the more you explore this. And let me put this in a different mode here. I'm going to put it in what's called this warp mode is called complex. Yeah, now you can really hear the affected audio. And I can make copies of this. Like maybe I want to have a version where it's, you know, I'll just call it verb or VIB for short. Okay. And then this one, I will set it back to its original settings. So if I go to clip and then I go to transpose, then I just highlight this and then I hit delete. Okay. So now I have this version and then I have this version, and maybe, I don't know, maybe for fun, I'll just start with it like this. And then all right, so you can have fun with this. And again, you can record all these ideas.